I was a coffee drinker. In my mind, I was not a heavy coffee drinker. I used to have about 2 cups every day, sometimes even just one. But I've been having at least 1 cup a day for a very long time, maybe about 15 years. And I have had it every single day, without an exception. Last year, I came to a point in my life where I felt like I was dependent on coffee, or more accurately, dependent on caffeine. If not for the coffee, I would have black tea to get some caffeine into my system every day. In fact, my day wouldn't start without coffee. I loved to sit quietly with my cup of coffee staring into nothingness, but what I did not realize is that the caffeine was actually controlling me. My mind would feel fogged, and after that cup of morning coffee, suddenly I'd feel more awake and a little enthusiastic about my daily activities. I have tried quitting coffee a few times in my life, but I never lasted more than a day. After a series of headaches, I would return back to having that cup of coffee or a cup of tea. But this time, things were different, and we will speak about what helped me really quit this time and how my journey of quitting looked like. It's been more than 3 months now since I have fully quit coffee. I have started to occasionally enjoy a cup of coffee maybe once a week or once every other week, but I'm no longer dependent on caffeine. First, let's talk about what helped me quit coffee more easily this time. For several weeks before actually quitting, I started to reduce my caffeine intake to just 1 cup a day. With this, I'd also started to work on my physical fitness and water intake. I started what is called the 75-day hard challenge about 2 months before actually starting to quit caffeine. The 75-day hard challenge is a popular challenge, and I have a link below that talks about my experiences with it and how I did it. 2 things in the 75-day hard challenge were especially helpful in helping quit coffee. The first one is the increased water intake. With the 75-day hard challenge, we are required to intake at least 1 gallon of water every single day. It took me about a week for my body to get used to this much water, but eventually I got used to it. When you suddenly quit caffeine, your blood vessels tend to shrink a little, causing headaches, but the increased water intake will reverse it. This is how water intake actually helps with caffeine withdrawal. The second about the 75-day hard challenge that helped with caffeine withdrawal is the exercise part. 2 workouts a day meant I was physically more fit than ever before and was in the best spot to start caffeine withdrawal. So in summary, the preparation I did for quitting caffeine are 1. Start by reducing caffeine intake at least 2 to 3 weeks before actually quitting. 2. Increased water intake on a daily basis at least a month before quitting. And 3. Increased physical activity or exercise at least a month before actually quitting. Now, I'm going to talk about my experiences during the first week of quitting coffee. First, let's talk about headaches. Previous times when I had tried quitting coffee without the prep work, I experienced a lot of headaches the very first day and often resorted to having coffee notwithstanding the headaches. But this time, because of all the prep work I had done, headaches were minimal to 0. The first day I did not experience headaches. Caffeine constricts blood vessels in the brain, which slows blood flow. When you stop consuming caffeine, the blood vessels dilate, increasing blood flow and putting pressure on nerves. Increased water intake helps with this and manage headaches very well. Second is body pain. With quitting caffeine, I experienced body pain, especially lower body pains. These pains lasted for about 3 days. The increased physical activity with the 75-day hard challenge helped a little with this, but the mild body pain still lasted 2 to 3 days. It never went to a level where I had to take any medications. The pain was mild again, I believe thanks to all the prep work I had done. Finally, I experienced mild feelings of less interest and enthusiasm. These symptoms lasted for about 2 to 3 days as well. We do not realize how much our body becomes addicted to coffee for mood enhancements. It's only without caffeine that these symptoms start to show up. All of these symptoms lasted less than a week. After about 5 days of quitting coffee, I finally started to feel normal again. Morning routine right after I woke up. Now, I must say that I really loved sitting with a hot cup of coffee and staring into nothingness. After quitting coffee, I replaced this morning routine with some hot water with lemon. it still gave me a hot cup to sit and spend my time with. More stable energy levels through the day is the other effect I could notice. After quitting coffee, I felt my energy was more stabilized throughout the day. Having said all of the things I have discussed so far, there are many studies that say that drinking coffee may be beneficial to health. I do not disbelieve in that, and do enjoy an occasional cup of coffee here and there. What I really love about quitting caffeine now is that I am no longer controlled by the need to have coffee. I enjoy it when I feel like without being controlled by it. If you are someone looking to quit caffeine, I hope you got some useful tips from this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That's all we have for today's video. See you in the next video.